Hey guys, it's Friday night in my squeaky chair, Commodore shirt, iced tea. We're all set. Searching the old interwebs and went on the eBay and I found myself this. Well, you may be thinking that's a really nice necklace. This is a Interex Computer Products one source for every connection computer interface cable. Real lightly written. It says part number MP1 Amiga 500 1000 floppy plus monitor. It's like really bad. It's got some numbers on the back, and it was apparently produced Wichita, Kansas, USA, made in Taiwan, 7th of May 1991, according to my bad eyes. Let me get my good eyes on. Oh, that would be July 5th. I reversed it like Europe, 91. So that's kind of neat. What is it for? Well, as you may have figured, it's a DB23 male and female, and that's quite a rare commodity now, and it has the kind of connectors that you can actually take off. Kind of like what I've been working with on my long cable for the old Spectrum. So that seems to be good. Turn around here and let her fire up. I was trying to do the 3.1.4.1 upgrade there. And the old CD-ROMer was sticking. What's a DVD drive? Built something and it has a little rubber gasket in case you want to go underwater. And that was just sticking, I guess, from never being used. So I screwed up my Workbench here, and I got some EGS driver that I put on here from the actual Spectrum card and reset. Watch this weird mode. I'm going to have to pull this out of Dev's monitors. So we're booting finally. There we go. EGS is not executable. I don't know what that's talking about, but I don't care. EGS thing. Apparently this is not a monitor. Yeah, that doesn't like that either. If I let this run for a long time, it tends to get extremely warm. I don't know if that's the nature of just this 3640. What was I doing? Yeah, there you go. We're going to get rid of this. I don't know what that HD 720 is, but we're just going to attempt to install the update because this didn't work last time at all. I don't think it did. No, it did not. So this was originally 3.9, as you can tell by Amadoc and the regular goodies, with all the boing bags 1 and 2. I don't do 3 and 4. That's what we get. Can't perform an operation on a file or drawer not of required type. Well, what I say to that is, we're going to have to use actual media, and I think I actually have an update disk. So we're going to toss that into my freshly cleaned and recapped 357 alpha high density drive. And I don't know if you can see any of what's going on because this resolution is just so awesome. And here's the official update, and that could be the installers. I have 373,000 installers. Normally a fellow deletes all the languages that he doesn't speak. Save a couple K on floppy disks. It's only 3K free. Let's see if this one works. Yes, I'm going to have to make myself a new ADF. Are you done? Alright, we're just going to be a novice user because whatever, English like Jesus spoke. Alright, 3.1.4.1 can be found in your system drawer or partition. I guess I got to reboot. I'm just going to do that anyway. See if I get some errors. And I'm going to do the right thing and toss Megadeth in the old CD player. Now, I've been looking for about 223.8 hours for the actual, the audio cable that runs from the back of the CD and plugs into the Amiga, where you got to pull the pins out and flip them around because Commodore wasn't industry standard. One of those. I found one for the whatever, a Mythlon system, and that works pretty good, but I need like 2 more, and I can't find them in stores anymore. I don't think any modern CD drives even have audio ports. I've looked at mine, and they don't have the audio anymore. Oh, shut her down. And we didn't get any errors, and that well, you just do that. And my CD-ROM drive said nope. So I'm gonna see what the old oh, what happened here? Oh, great. All my drawers got redirected. I'm gonna go into IDE fix 97 and say find my daggone device. And what is a Telemax TBAPI device? That'll be you. We're gonna use that one. And I don't know why she's not mounting anymore. That's not a good thing. When I originally did the upgrade, old, what? Devs, dosdrivers, you son of a... Well, you're the wrong color, so I know you're the wrong one. So you're gonna go here, and you're gonna go here, and you're gonna go here, like that maneuver. And then we're gonna do the right thing and reboot one more time because you haven't watched this video long enough. Now, this IDE SSD that I'm running seems to be working pretty well. It was originally supported with large hard drives in 3.9, so I never had any problem with it. I did have to run the tool of fix HDD size to get my... There we go. So there's my... Yes, let's see if Virus Z complains now we uncheck the vectors. Now, what about this cable you've been rapping along about and got so sidetracked you totally forgot what you were doing and you did an upgrade? Well, that's great. I figured this cable, it's the same color, right? Almost the same color. It's aged a little bit. But if I can pick the correct end, it's a actual unsliced DB23 that lines up perfectly. She's all silver and shiny and no one's ever going to see her. But that's a lot better to run on a loop, and maybe even a little bit shorter a fellow can do. But I figured if I was going to put this in the 2000 to get rid of the something flicker fixer card or whatever, I could have. It would need the length. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to do the right thing, and in case I need another 23 male, which I don't know what I would do, I might just give her an old snip. And I know it's the original cable, but I really have no use for a 23 to 23. What would they be used for? So we're going to take this out, and I have an actual one of these I got myself in a DB9, so it looks more human. I didn't want to have this cable and have it like perfect on one end and then hacked up like, you know, ghetto fabulous on the other, but it's working very well. And let's see if I can screw this up too. That seems horrible, but I don't have the cable mess behind me. I mean, when it's up against the wall, this sticks out just as far as this belly, so, and you want a little bit of room for some breath. We brushed her teeth. She's clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I'm getting a little scuffage here on this plate. Now I noticed I'm booting a little faster. The 4000's always been a turd when it comes to booting because of the Spectrum card. So I'm going to open up Directory Works because Opus is nice, but you can see this one a lot better. So we're going to go to DF, mine is DF1, and over here we're going to go to DH0, so floppy drive. In C we need the file called load module, and you can clone it, but I don't care. But I want to get my Windows out of the way. So we're done with the modules disk. Take it out. We only need that one file. Rah! Now what we're going to do is we're going to run edit pad here from a 3.9 installation, and we're going to open our startup sequence. So at the very top you got this if exist C load module, right? And it's going to say blah 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 version 4.6.0 if warned C load module ROM update and if. Okay, we just have to take all this crap out. Yeah. And just get all these end diffs out of the way. Is that all the way over? Nope. So C module ROM update. Cool. Now, what we're going to do now, that's that part. So we're going to save that and quit. Now we're going to use Directory Works again because I know you love it. And I forgot one little thing. We're going to go to libs here. So sys libs. And we're going to look for intuition library, rename something, something, something. We're just going to rename this to intuition library. Boop. So it's going to reboot with the new load module. I guess you don't need to be zoomed in that bad because you know that thing's going to wobble. Cool thing is with the intuition library is, whoop, you can drag your windows off the screen. That's the whole reason I wanted 3141. You can rock it with the 3.1 ROM, but you'll be loading your modules disk, and some of the files that are on the modules disk are the ones that are actually burned into the ROM. That's why you don't normally need the modules disk on a ROM-based install. But if you want these advanced features, like the old the intuition library and so super floppy or the intuition library. Now, intuition library comes in handy because we all use modern day Windows machines or Macs, and you can kind of get crap out of the way. When you're on an Amiga that doesn't have this intuition library, you're pretty much done. Now I'm going to go ahead and blow this up totally with no backup because I don't care. And I need to get my butt into, not that, wrong drive, HD Toolbox here, and we're going to just see if the old thing still works. So tools, oh, that looks nice. I had all my windows perfect. HD Toolbox, I have PFS3 but I don't use it. So we're going to HD Toolbox. I'm going to update this file system to 4620. 4620 is the updated file system for the 3.1.4.1 upgrade. So we're going to choose advanced and we're going to say add or update, and we're 4613 right now. So we're going to say update file system. Okay. It should say 4620. Pachink. Okay. 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 Continue. Now, on a reboot, we shouldn't notice any difference. You may get the warning that she's going to erase all your data and do some other nasty things, but it doesn't do that. It's just a warning. The installation README does mention this, and you can ignore it at that because you're just changing the version of the same file system. You're not like going from PFS3 to fast file system or SFS or something like that. Make sure you're using the modules disks for your model rig, because if you go and put a 3000's SCSI.device on there, you're pretty much, you're done, because 3000 SCSI and the 4 and the 12 are IDE based. So I need to run stink info to see if I'm better than my 1.3 megabytes per second that I normally get. And I don't know what happened to it. I think I put it in the directory. Sysinfo. Ah, fella did. Oh my. Well, that just looks legit. That ain't good. Alright, let's go. Sysinfo 1. You've got to be kidding me. Well, that's not good. Reboot again. I'm just batting 1,000. I don't know. Ooh, that was a little flicker there. Alright, let's see. DW. Son of a... I screwed something up. My colors look... So my mouse works, but I glitched something out with the graphics, and I don't know what I did. So I have one theory. What did I just do? I just did the load module crap. So we're going to run EditPad, and we're going to open our startup sequence. And I'm just going to comment out the load module. We'll have no draggable windows for a sec, And it was working before I did that. Can I even do this crappy one? Nope. Alright, so my 15 kilohertz works. Whenever I want to do a video to show or help learn or pass some knowledge, it's just a daggone nightmare. So you're not alone out there in Amiga world when you just want to do something simple on your Amiga. Next thing you know, it's like 5.5 hours later and your 9 wobble pops in and you're like, what was I even working on? I just wanted to play a game and now I'm doing library tracing on what screwed up. I don't know. Picasso 96 modes. I know it'll work in Spectrum mode, but I really need my 15 kilohertz mode. Now I'm going to have to go do all this nightmare stuff for something stupid. Alright, so continuing on, it's been a couple days, and I've done several things, and this thing started to, you know, be temperamental as usual. So we're going to fire it up. I'm not putting a disk in the drive to get my DF1. I don't worry about that. What happened? I was rolling along, everything was cool, and I was doing had the video issue. So I had to figure out what happened to make the video just not work. Then said, forget it. I booted my Amiga OS 3.9 emergency floppy and formatted the system drive because I got everything on Big Mama. That's the second partition. Then I reinstalled a blank 3.9 thinking that'll fix it, and it did. It fixed the issues with the display. So now I have display back for 15 and 31. I didn't have to reinstall Picasso or my graphics driver or nothing because my emergency boot disk had all of those goodies. The 040 got so hot, I put a bunch of Raspberry Pi heat sinks all over it, and I wanted some air to blow because there's no air to. It's a sealed case. The only air you can get is through the vents over here, and I don't know whose wonderful idea it was to make the vents over here and here, so it would blow around. Supposedly, if your fan was strong enough, across the front there's a little slot where your cables can go through, and then across here. And then over here, somehow, and then out. It doesn't work very well because the power supply base fan is usually covered. You can barely see the bottom here with all of the cables from the floppy drive, whatever you have in the bottom, and possibly your CD drive. So this guy, this Yansan 2.5 parallel ATA turd of a supposed to be a SSD. It is, and it works okay, except I get long delays on startup, which leads me back to this. Alright, install 314. We have all of our RAM. Okay. And then we're going to partition this turd. This one, save changes to drive. There we go. Alright, so we're going to format. Alright, let's give her the onions and reboot. This is a common problem when you didn't do your stuff correctly. No big deal. I was trying to get by without increasing my block size. Can you see the entire window there? So I'm going to nuke this again. So we're going to go here, we're going to choose advanced options, and we're going to say change, and right here on this block size dude, we're going to give it long file names, and I'm going to start at 1024K. I'm not updating max transfer because she's a physical hard drive. We're going to say OK, save changes, nuke DH1, done. Okay, reboot, which is what it should have said the first time about just getting my programs off, because everything I need is on that drive. And I don't have a network card in here, and I am not burning a whole bunch of DVDs to just get my stuff in. It's just, no. 34 gig. How about that? Don't care. Did the 1024 block size do it? Maybe. It's kind of taking a while, but the hard drive light is doing it, and there we go. So a 1024 block size was able to validate it, and I forgot to take the trash can out. No worries. So system is 0% full, 2.6 gigabytes. This is 34.6, named 34. Don't really care. Let's fast forward through a 3.1.4 installation. Now I'm going to reboot it just to make sure it boots without the CPU error. Okay, so we're going to do my pet peeve first, which is backdrop and snapshot all. Now I could have connected my actual secondary hard drive to this, but we're just going to install this. There's many of these you can use. This is just the one I choose to use. Sony DVD drive. We're going to use that one. Thanks. You're not alone in your Amiga nightmares. When you sit down for 5 seconds to do something quick and it doesn't work, and then you spend 3 days rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding and trying this and trying that to get your perfect idea of whatever. Fast forward a couple hours later, I decided I'm going to do the hard drive again. OS 314 raw. I am formatting the disk. I resized it. I left DF1 non-configured right now. This is a 40. I made DH0 1 and some change, and I did a regular format because it's an actual hard drive, and I think the quick format was my reason for my hard drive size weirdness when I was doing the installs where it was saying a negative number because it had plenty of space. I just don't think it was working correctly, so I'm doing the long format. We're formatting this turd, which is almost done. Hopefully it won't take another 45 minutes to do this little bit, but we'll see. And then we're going to put ASM on here again and try and make a 3.9 emergency boot disk that actually loads the CD-ROM drivers. I made one off of the SSD guy, and it was putting way too many files on there. It ran out of disk space when I deleted the other video cards instead of my chipset, and what I had, it really didn't do nothing except screw up, and gave me a recoverable alert on boot. Wouldn't mount the CD-ROM, says it couldn't open the SCSI device 1, which is my CD-ROM, and I don't know. So what we're going to do is I'm formatting this, and then I'm going to go through the Workbench install. I'll blip back when it's done. My 3.1.4.1 update on ADF didn't work. Even though 3.1.4 says native support for the 040 through the 68,000 through 68060, you need the daggone library, library. It doesn't come with it. Luckily I have it on a disk. So I'm going to try and get the CD-ROM file system working. Devs, DOS drivers, here she is. We'll do the information. I need to see this more, and I can't, so we're going to have to scroll line by line here. SCSI device unit 1 for me. So here's my CD-ROM driver. We're going to boot it and make sure it works without a CD file system. It's just using the 3.1.4.1 file system, changing the storage DOS driver CD0. Now we're rocking. So now I'm going to create a naked new emergency boot disk. I am formatting this guy. It's write protected. Man, I really need some fingernails. Okay, so we're going to go into 3.9. Here's my emergency disk. We're going to quick format that puppy, even though it formats it anyway. I just want to wipe the slate. proceed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. My CD is in, my emergency boot floppy is in, which I'm going to write protect. If I just step back and put myself back in 1992, this would be fast as heck. Oh, you pissball. Okay, so number one error. The new Workbench 314 doesn't have the library. Plink, and then it'll fail. And that's what I get. Can't open SCSI device 1, and then it yells. Ah! I don't get a Workbench because I was trying to break the shell and get my doohickey. So something's up. I can't get this to load. So we're booted back up with the hard drive. The 4000 boots a little faster. Our fan seems to be doing a great job. It's not that noisy, but I kind of like the noise of the old hard drive sound. I mean, it is a vintage computer. It is not a modern machine, so it doesn't need to be all compact flash or SSDs. It's cool, but taking her back to the original. So what I'm going to do now as a test is we have the 15 kilohertz on the pass-through. We have the 24-bit RTG. Right now I'm in 65 535 colors, 800 by 600. So after rebuilding this on the hard drive, getting 3.9, 314, but I got a 3.14 base. It's weird, but it works. So you saw what happened last time when I did the layer, the intuition library where I could drag windows off the screen. Right now they bump, so I can't drag them off. So we're going to do that again and see how it works. So step one is launch directory works. I have to check the C drive for load module, which is on the 4000 modules disk. And there's the water heater. Can't have one effing day without it. Right there. There's modules. So we're going to launch directory works again, because I didn't put Opus back on yet. So we're going to go to DF1. I made a button for it finally. C, load module has to go to DHOC. Copy this over. Take a second. 101.236. Now this is the one from the 3.1.4.1 pack. Interesting. We're still going to do it. So we're going to take this and rename it to intuition.library. And quit. We're going to run the editor, and we're going to open the startup sequence. And this doesn't actually have it in there. If exists IDE fixed. So right after set patch, I'll do it here. We're going to do C. Oops. C. Load module. It's ROM update. Whoops. That looks good. Save this. And we're going to reboot and see if we get any weird errors first before I execute the remove. Only a second to boot, but alright. So if this works, I should be able to drag my windows off the screen. Yay! Now here's where it happened before. I couldn't run 15 kilohertz crap after that. When I went to directory works, I got red pasty lines. So does this do it? Is it the library that causes this? No, it's not. I must have totally screwed the pooch on that. So thankfully now I can drag windows off the screen, which makes life easier on an Amiga when you have, if you're in high res or standard low res or whatever, the non-interlaced high res PAL, high res NTSC, non-interlaced, you have like about this much room on your Workbench screen. That's it. Your icons are super big. It's not really enjoyable. The last piece of the library is to do a load module remove. Your Amiga will automatically reboot. Watch this. Load module remove. Ready? It'll just reboot on its own. Now, if I don't have 15 kilohertz pass through after this reboot, that is going to be the crux, and I won't remove the module after that. And the Amiga is booting, and we'll see, do I have draggable windows? I do. Do I have 15 kilohertz mode? I do, so we're good. The update is successful. We have a hard drive in here now. I have the IDE SSD still available with stuff on it, and I'm going to plug it in a second where the CD drive is, DVD drive is, to get my junk back over so I don't have to do all this copying stuff or put a network card in. I don't have USB on here or networking, but that's for the future. So we got everything sorted and everything is good, and that is how you get your layers library on a 314 Amiga, whether it be a 500, 6, 12, 2, 3, 4, whatever you got, you can do this. It doesn't use but like 200K of RAM, so it'll work good for all you 4-megers. Do that layers library. It is a lifesaver. I don't know why my display screwed up. I have no idea why my 15 kilohertz mode did not work. It had something to do with a setting on here. You know me. If I can break it, I'm gonna break it. But I'm glad I broke it so you can avoid that, and maybe it's a learning experience. So as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll learn something.